G'day guys, welcome in. I am playing a brand new game. I have no idea what this game is about or how long this stream will be, but we'll see. I'm just doing a little bit of promoting and then I will get this started. Alright, let's see what this game is all about, shall we? Is this on? Yes, it is on. Cool. Let's go to options, let's make sure this is right. Back, yeah, that's all good. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit.
I'm Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Marty McChicken. I'm Santino Featherland, and I'm Santino Featherland, and
that way it's not too loud. Yep. Alright, cool. Alright, let's go. Get this started. I haven't played this game before, so I have absolutely no idea what this game is like. But we shall see.
I ran out to get a pack of cigarettes, but I left my wallet at home. Yeah, that's me. I'm getting old. My name is Sonny Featherland, an investigator for 20 years, and once the star of the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department, one half of the legendary Chicken Police. But buying a pack of smokes is more than I can handle right now. Maybe I should just lay low. Yeah, I'll do that. The most colorful place in the wilderness. For all the gods, what bullshit. The last clucking color left this city years ago. And slowly I'll turn gray too.
Kind of reminds me of Sin City a bit so far. I don't know if anyone's
Still, what
actually
do I
watched Sin City
expect?
before.
We're living in a vast experiment, and don't
That's
even
what it reminds
notice
me
that everything got clucked up a long time ago. We believe in this wonderland of peaceful coexistence. Wolves and sheep, chickens and hounds. Yeah, sure, why not? It's just ridiculous. The dog eats the chicken. It's in our nature. I'm not propping up the illusion anymore. 121 days, and it's over. Retirement. What could possibly go wrong?
A lot. I think that was a deal. It was a deal.
Ah, crap. My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a
Zebra.
light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd have a sophisticated-sounding name. She had a bygone look in her eyes, older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk. But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time, so I had to give her a chance. I don't even know what these papers are.
No. It's raining, apparently. It should, I think it was another. I just guessed it. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it wasn't a number. Alright, let's go back. Alright, I know I definitely have to talk to her.
Every whiskey has the same color nowadays, at least in this price range. I promised myself I'd write a novel one day. My wallet and my badge. The wallet is real, the badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine, so I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes, just in case.
Fair.
My last cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal. She doesn't seem so dangerous that I need to grab my gun, but you never know.
Alright, cool. So I've got my guns. And my badge and my cigarette, apparently.
Books I'm never gonna read. Maybe nobody ever has.
Alright.
We used to be star cops a few years ago. Tabloid press, radio interviews, and even a book series. I don't miss those days. Of course, Marty, my old partner, would disagree. He just loved the spotlight. This is one of the most beautiful memories from my old life, before Molly left me and took our daughter.
It doesn't look like a chicken, but okay.
The good things in life don't last long. The best ones always leave first. I saw that in the window of a shoe store. I never understood it, or what it had to do with shoes. M.B. Davis, the eternal king of jazz. The photo is from the days of jazz prohibition. I only heard the old man live one time, but I'll never forget that night. And not only because I woke up at the harbor without my gun, my badge, and my pants. The Wild Gentlemen. Those guys rebuilt the city after the Great Fire of 867. My heroes when I was a little chick. I'm starting to think they should have left Clawville as it was, burned to the ground.
Well, that's dark. Alright. Well, let's talk to you, lady.
Legs that go on for days. Deep, dark eyes. Silky skin and voice. You're in big trouble, pal.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Deborah, Miss Deborah Ibanez.
You're mistaken, ma'am.
Oh, really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Philmar Lowe instead of me.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident I came to you.
Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to. Not even from a classy dame like you.
Am I that easy to read?
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you like a drink?
I don't usually drink.
Well, I've got to have one. And it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Ah, thank the wild ones. That's all I have.
What a coincidence.
So come on, spill it from the beginning.
Oop, cutscene.
That's better. Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is receiving threats. What kind of threats, exactly?
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on the wall of the house in giant red letters.
I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions.
Please, that's why I'm here.
Okay. Alright, so that's what I had to click on. Alright, well now I know what I had to click on. Oh,
I don't even know where the key is. Whatever's inside is gonna stay there forever.
Alright.
So, this is the part where the interrogation comes. Like in those detective movies.
Something like that, Deborah. Yes.
Okay, so I've got to concentrate apparently.
I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, we can go in hard. Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland.
You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork, most of the time.
Sorry.
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim?
Believe me, This is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
Which part of the city do you live in?
Tell me, which part of the city do you live in? Calavera Hills? Flowerville, maybe?
Look, I don't want to answer that. I'm here on behalf of my employer, and not on personal business.
Fair point, Deborah. Let's try a different approach. Why did you have to visit me this particular evening?
I have my reasons. I may look like a silly little fawn, and maybe I am, but I still have common sense.
I don't doubt that for a second, Miss Ibanez.
This day is essential to my mistress, and she thought it's also important to you.
A message in itself, for sure. But to be honest, even you are.
You know what? I'll just take that as a compliment, even if it wasn't meant as such.
Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself?
My employer is Miss Natasha Katsenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to.
How so?
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that.
Alright, I'm sure it's not intentional, but you are toying with me. What exactly did you expect by coming here to meet me? How did you get this address? What do you want from me?
I'm sure it's not intentional, but are you toying with me?
I'm not sure I understand you, Mr. Featherland.
Cut the crap, Deborah. You're a pretty smart girl, and you can't hide that no matter how hard you try. But ever since we've been talking, I couldn't force one single straight answer out of you. I'm starting to think I'm terrible at what I do.
I'm sorry, Mr. Featherland, you're right. I'll try to be more straightforward next time.
Boom.
I appreciate that, ma'am.
I'm getting someone out. Are you in some sort of jam? Let's pretend you never found me. Okay, this is just too risky for me. I can't take the case. Do you think you're cut out for this kind of work?
Are you in some sort of jam?
Nothing of the sort. There are simply things better left unsaid.
Nope.
Then you're wasting my time.
I trust your instincts. You'll manage it.
Yeah, and I have no other choice, right?
To be honest, no, Mr. Featherland. Not really.
Don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious?
Look, Santino, I'll explain everything.
I have no doubt about that. You look just the type, sweetheart. No offense.
I'll take that as a compliment. Or maybe I'll act like I haven't heard it.
You see, we're starting to understand each other.
won't come clean, what's the point of all this?
If you won't come clean, what's the point of all this?
But, Mr. Featherland...
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but I'm way too old for this game.
Please, just think again. For me and my mistress's sake.
Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Because my mistress trusts you.
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall.
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a cop?
No, not for the world.
Smart answer. Be honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler. Or as most people know him...
Ibn Wessler, the Kingpin.
Exactly.
Feathery gods, help me.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler. This little piece of the puzzle changes everything.
Bum bum bum. Ooh, I got 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, that's not too bad. The employer, the justice consent. Alright, let's see.
Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints, you know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111.
Please, take a look at this.
Well, okay. Let's see.
Okay, so maybe I can call out 555-111.
I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as gentleman.
Natasha.
And
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall, with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why Molly? Why now?
Mr. Featherland? Santino, are you all right?
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you?
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail.
Blackmail?
Don't play innocent with me.
But...
All right. When can I visit?
Visit? Me?
Not you. Miss Katsenko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Tsar Club.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs?
No, she's really not like that. But she owns the place.
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club, especially on New Year's Eve, right?
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Katsenko, but there's one small problem, Mr. Featherland.
Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit.
Exactly. How did you know?
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Sonny.
I'll talk about the rest with Miss Katsenko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home if you'd like.
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
Triple 5932. 55932. 55932. One, two, three. Two.
Hey, Lewis. Am I bothering you?
No. Of course not, Sonny. Old friend, what's up?
Could you come over? I've got a favor to ask if you're not busy.
For you, anything. Just a minute.
Lewis arrived a few minutes later. He lived in the rooms above, so it wasn't difficult getting here. Not to mention that he's a rabbit. It was a quick hop. The Atlas Hotel was his inheritance. It was once a well-renowned place, but not anymore. The last economic crisis ruined it. And now, besides me, he was the only resident of this enormous place. Thanks for being so quick, Lewis. Can you drive Miss Ibanez home? I have some things to take care of.
Of course, Sonny. You know, anything for you.
Thank you for being so considerate, Sonny. I appreciate it.
Don't mention it.
Goodbye, then.
So long, Deborah. Before I visit the club, I have to take a detour. I've got a feeling that this case isn't going to be a one-man job. And there's only one bird in this city I can trust. My ex-partner, Marty. He's going to be at the station. I can only hope he'll be willing to talk to me. Could I ask you a few more questions, Deborah?
Feel...
Oh, just one more thing.
Yes, so...
I don't want to sound indiscreet, but this fur removal craze. Do you do this yourself, or are there specific parlors for it?
Well, would you like to try it?
Well, it wouldn't work as well with my feathers. Just professional curiosity. You know, it's, yeah.
Occupational hazard? There are parlors, yes. But I do it for myself. And I do it for my mistress, too, if you're interested.
That's, good to know. Thank you very much.
You're one strange bird, Sonny Featherland.
Well, I've been called worse.
Okay, so I can still try and do that thing. Alright, ask. Ask Deborah Thornus. Hotel, let's go.
So this Natasha dame.
Look, I'm just the messenger. You have to talk to my mistress about the details. Miss Katsenko was very clear on this matter.
I see, but...
Please, Sonny, let's not make this even more uncomfortable.
Okay, understood. Let's drop it.
Thank you.
Alright, I still have more questions.
I've already told you more about myself than I wanted to.
Afraid you'll get your hands dirty?
I'm afraid I already did.
Do you think my whereabouts aren't a secret?
Do you think they ever were?
Well, I was hoping.
Clawville is a big city, but not so big that Santino Featherland can hide in it.
Oh, please. Flatter me more. So, Ibn Wessler, eh? You know you could have dropped the bomb a little earlier.
If I started with that, I'm sure you would have thrown me out.
You're right. He's one of the most dangerous gangsters in the city.
I only know he's an influential businessman.
Isn't that the same?
Not even you can see the world as that black and white.
I mean, yeah, I can. I'm playing a black and white
I've already
game.
told you what I know. I've never read the message. My job was to give it to you and nothing more.
You really are this innocent, aren't you?
I'm not sure I get what you mean.
Let me give you some advice, sister. Leave the city and get as far as you can from the likes of Ibn Wessler.
It's not so simple, Mr. Featherland. My mistress needs me.
Is she really that important to you? That you drive around in the dead of night to questionable places to deliver messages you know absolutely nothing about?
I would do more than that for her.
I see. You're smooth. Real smooth.
Thank you, Mr. Featherland.
Sonny, please. Just Sonny.
Alright, all the questions are...
Take care, sweetheart.
You too, Sonny.
I can always count on you. Thanks, old buddy.
Don't even mention it, my friend.
You got anything planned for today?
I thought I'd visit a nightclub. It's New Year's Eve, after all.
Well, I didn't mean to hold you up.
I'll ask a favor of you someday.
I owe you a lot of those, don't I?
That's true. I don't deny it.
This is basically furry cops.
Behind that door lies the kingdom of dirty clothes, cigarette butts, and empty bottles.
Okay, yes, I should really have a look at this. Get rid of these. Next. Wait. Okay. Yep. Alright, so whenever it tells me to call Lewis, at least I know. Oh, sorry. At least I know his number's in here. So that's good. My cat apparently wants to say hi. Greenhorn. Oh. I cannot change scenes anywhere else, okay. That is the scene.
It was New Year's Eve, and I was driving, half drunk, risking my whole life's work. But still, it didn't feel any different. Every day was the same. And the 121 days I had left till my retirement seemed like an eternity. When I look out the window of the hotel room I call home, I see the same thing every day. A woman in a red nightgown dances slowly in circles to smooth music. The 9 o'clock show, with a glass of cheap bourbon and the red gown with the silent music. In the meantime, the proud city of Clawville is slowly eating itself alive. And we're still here, with nothing left to lose but our sanity, while others, the smart ones, had already gone. Molly. Does her name really upset me this much? All those years of solitude, and I still jump without question every time I hear it. And then there's Marty, my ex-partner, who hates me. But I know I have to speak with him, no matter what. Why do I feel like the past is watching me on this goddamn night? I knew where to find Marty. At the station, we'd always draw straws about holiday duty. Marty never joined in. He always took the New Year's Eve shift, even though he had someone to go home to. I understood. 10 years ago, we survived the night the press called the Bloody New Year. Forgotten by Clawville, but not by us. We both left parts of ourselves behind that night.
All right.
Phyllis and Royce. Two hedgehogs with an arrogance typical of novice cops. They're as prickly as they look. Officious little shitheads, but harmless.
Well, look at that. Hey, Sonny, what you scratching out over here? I heard the big boss threw you out.
Tough luck, boys. I may not be on duty, but I'm still a cop, just like you. Well, more than you.
Hey, you don't have to be so peckish, old bud. By the way, you're in luck. Blood Boil's not in tonight. Malloy is in charge.
Oh, God. That clumsy buffalo is here tonight. If he doesn't end up in a cell again, he's lucky.
You got it.
You looking for Marty, eh?
I see you're still the brains around here, Phyllis. Yeah, I'm looking for Marty. Birds of a feather flock together.
I see you're still the funny guy around here. You'll find the giant feather duster at the shooting range. As always.
Hey, Royce. I'm telling you this because maybe you'll be able to understand. If this prickly shithead makes another racist remark, I'll strangle him with his own raincoat.
I'd love to see that.
Hey, whose side are you on, you jerk?
Back in the day, I used to patrol the city streets in one of these. I don't miss it, but it used to have its advantages. This happened when that old bloodhound, Blood Boil, was promoted to chief of police. Every time this poster disappears, good old Blood Boil puts it right back, immediately. I tore it down at least 3 times already. Actually, it's a kind of passive-aggressive game for us with the chief. By the way, what's with the raincoats? Couldn't you find an umbrella?
Why? Frank says it'll be rain. And see, it's raining. He's a frog, so he must know.
Yeah, well, I'm a rooster, but I hate getting up early.
Raincoats are just fine, okay. You have a problem with that, Sonny?
No, just, you know, the spikes sticking through and all.
Is something wrong with our spikes, chicken?
Yeah, you know what? Just forget it. Whoa. Don't you freeze, boys? It's cold outside.
Yeah, truth be told, I'll freeze to my bones, Sonny. Even through this jacket, I'm completely soaked.
Really? I don't know why.
Don't listen to him, Royce. And you got nothing better to do. Bugger off.
Now you bugger off.
Okay, okay. Just, sometimes you two truly amaze me. Here we are again, Clawville Police Department. I've never been good at history, but if I'm not mistaken, this place has been a church, a hospital, and even some insane cult's secret hideout over the years. Anyway, the place holds the secrets of the ages, and some drunk pigs in the basement. Marty drinks this shit. I've never tried it, but I'm pretty sure it's gross and probably toxic. Honor, strength, unity. For the love of the wild gods, I'm gonna be sick. We used one of these as target practice once. Not out of disrespect. We were just too damn drunk.
I know there's people I can talk to, but I just don't want to talk to people right now. Oh, now I will.
Soft and ordinary, but also somehow cold and distant. The kind you'd like to invite for a coffee, but you know would say no, no matter who you are or what you do. Hey, Monica.
Hey, Boss Bird. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be celebrating somewhere?
Every day's a holiday since I got out of here.
I can tell. But what are you doing here? Are you here for a file? You know, I'm a little busy right now.
Yeah, you could look after a few things for me, but first I'd like to talk to Mr. Big Beak McChicken himself. Those two prickly assholes told me he's emptying the magazines in the hole.
Like always. And if he carries on like that, he's gonna use up all our ammo. So it would be nice if you drag him out of there. You know how this day is for him.
For him?
You know I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so just sign here and you're good to go.
Thank you, darling.
Don't mention it, Boss Bird. Hey, Sonny, is everything all right?
Sure, everything's fine, Mon. I'm just distracted.
That's nice. Life is best if you let the adventures take you with them.
Jeez, Mon. Don't read so many romantic novels.
That was one of yours, actually. From the old Sonny. You used to love saying nice little things like that, remember?
I try not to.
We can't erase the past because we are the past ourselves, am I right?
Stop that right there.
Okay, okay. I'm just joking.
What do you know about the Tsar Club?
Nothing special. I've never been there. It's a famous place, though. Expensive cigars, unaffordable drinks, pretty gals. All the movie stars and politicians go there at least once a week.
And all the big shot mobsters, too, I've heard.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. Still living in Neapolis?
If something works, why change it, right?
Well, if you like it there.
Listen, Monica, you could, come by sometime. For a drink, or two, you know?
I didn't hear that, and you didn't say that.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
Anything else, Boss Bird?
I think that was him trying to ask her to do a bit of a dance with no pants. Chicken like the birdie.
Do we have a file on Hobart, Ibn, Wessler?
Are you kidding me? We have a whole room just for him. Want the key? You can spend the remaining days of your paid holiday in there.
No thanks. Never mind. You're a bit sassy today, aren't you?
I'm sorry, Sonny, but I'm starting to shed my feathers because of this insane asylum. You know, New Year's Eve and Blood Boil's not here when he should be.
Somehow I'm not sorry about that.
Yeah, I bet you're not, Boss Bird. Natasha Katzenko. Interesting name. Is it real or just an alias?
It's supposed to be real, but who knows? Good question.
We have nothing on her. She's either clean or uses a fake name. Maybe both, but I don't think so. Aside from that, everyone knows what I know about her. Singer, star, the #1 babe in this town, so to speak.
Thanks, little bird. It's something.
Glad I could help.
Mort Mardigan, a notorious deadbeat. Poor guy's been blind since his teenage years, but that doesn't stop him from running into trouble. What the cluck did he do this time?
I am still here, guys. I'm just eating while I'm playing, so that's why I've gone silent.
Mort, you scabious beast. What the hell did you do?
Morty to you, sonny boy. Everything's fine. There was just a bit of trouble in the bar, and someone got knocked on the head with a glass. It wasn't my fault. I'm as blind as a bat, am I right?
Did that ever bother you, Morty?
Listen, sonny boy. Go tell them to leave me alone, eh? It's New Year's Eve, after all, and I didn't even do anything wrong. Not that wrong.
Where's your little lapdog to get you out of this mess? Is that little pimp of a midget still sniffing around you?
Jesse is a good boy, Sonny. And he's good to me, believe me.
Oh, God, spare me the details. When will you finally realize that little shit's been using you?
Oh, of course he's using me. What could a pretty boy like him want from this old monster, eh? Still, Sonny, I have no one else. Do you understand that? Don't you?
Even you deserve better, pal. By the way, you look horrible, even for yourself. Are you feeling okay?
Well, I'm not what I used to be. But neither are you, judging from your voice. But I'm seeing a doctor, sonny boy. I really am. Are you?
Don't need to, Mort. I'm fine. Anyway, if Bubo prescribed you something, don't even think about taking it.
I don't talk to that insane owl.
Damn right.
Please, say something on my behalf, okay? I really don't have time for this Detective Buffalo shit.
Hey, careful with that. Buffalo Malloy is the chief today.
Like I care.
I'll try to speak for you, but keep it down till then, okay? You don't need this shit, and I don't need it either.
Sonny boy, you've always been a good friend.
More like a clucking pigeon.
sonny boy. How's Molly and the little chickie?
You really know how to hurt a guy.
Is something wrong?
They no longer live with me, Mort. For a few years now. And to be honest, we're not really in touch.
I'm sorry, pal. I didn't want to reopen old wounds.
It's all right, Morty. Let's drop it.
Well, ouch. Now I know what happened with them.
Holy wild ones, look what the cat dragged in.
Hello to you too, Bosco. I see you're busy, as always.
I've been sniffing around one of the rundown joints. You know how it goes. And boom, this son of a lizard comes flying out the window. I didn't know that lizards could fly. So, Mort was being a bad boy again. Nothing unusual. And you? Still dying?
I'm still a cop for another 121 days, Bosco. It's as unpleasant to me as it is to you.
All right. No need to bite. I wasn't trying to mess with you. You have Moses and Plato for that. And of course, Blood Boil.
Let's hope I won't run into any of them tonight.
Looking for Marty, eh? Ever since you left, he's kind of lost. He's trying to hide it, but he's not the same bird.
Well, I don't think we'll have a teary reunion, thinking about how we parted.
Let me give you some advice, Sonny. Let him rage. He'll be the same after that. Anyway, he was the one that shot you, right? You should be mad, not him.
It's not that simple, Bosco, but we'll see how he reacts. Thanks anyway.
No worries, pal.
How are the pups?
They're real monsters. Life's a living hell. But it'd be even worse without them, you know?
Yeah, you're telling me.
Oh, right. Sorry.
And how's life without the chicken police?
Unfortunately, the worst half is still here. But it's good. It's so uneventful. What a coincidence.
Want me to make a scene?
No, I'm fine without it, really.
I wonder if he'll say anything else.
Listen, Bosco, do you need this mess with Mort?
Like hell I do. But what can I do when he's almost beat a fucking giraffe to death?
A giraffe? Never mind, it's New Year's Eve. There's a brawl like this in every joint of the city, and you know that. He's just a loser, and also blind. Maybe someone just stuck that broken mug in his hand.
You know that's not what happened.
Of course I know.
All right. I'll let him go. We don't need him yelling in here all night. I'll write the report and throw him out. But he'd better not end up back in here again tonight.
I'll have a talk with him. Keep up the good work. You're a good boy, Bosco.
Cluck off, Sonny.
Everything all right, Lizard Wizard?
Yeah, it will be, as soon as I'm out of here.
One of Blood Boil's favorites. Mainly because he's a dog, of course. Officer Jardine. They say she's clever, smart, and dangerous. We need more of her kind in here. I'm really not in the mood to meet Deputy Malloy, or any of my ex-colleagues from the Predatory Division.
Okay, so where do I go now then? There. I was wondering
This
where.
is gonna be a hard ride. Last time we saw each other, he had a smoking gun in his hand, and I was bleeding. I don't know how we can get past that, but it's worth a try. Long thighs and a big gun. That's Marty's idea of a perfect woman. Can't blame him for it. Her Majesty Big Bertha. Or rather, Big Bertha 2, because there was one before her. A sawed-off little broad, but we lost her in a swamp. Marty cried for a week. But once he saw this giant lady here, the balance of the universe was restored. I believe this piece is forbidden. Cops can't use it, but this is Marty's personal collection, so it doesn't matter. At least nobody has ever complained. Claudia. Tiny, dark, and angry, and hits you where it hurts the most. I know her well. Marty calls her Susie, and I have to say, this little she-devil pulled us out of many tough situations over the years.
Yeah, that's all the guns.
I was just about to go when you came in, so if you want shooting practice, maybe turn on the lights first.
You're right. I'm gonna do that.
Oh. I'm very bad at shooting games. Oop. I got worse that time. Nah, let's just leave the shooting range. Oh. Ah. I exited the whole thing. I'm an idiot.
Hey, Marty.
Oh.
Cut the shit, Marty. We're better than this.
Well, at least you are. Better than anyone, huh?
Marty, come on, let's forget that. What's past is past.
Easy for you to say, Sonny.
Damn it, Marty, you shot me, remember? I almost bled to death.
Hell yeah, I remember. Unfortunately, my aim wasn't good enough.
I need your help, okay? That's what you want to hear.
Well, it's a start.
Okay, I've said it. I won't do it again.
Yeah, right.
So, are you in? Just for tonight. Small case. We'll wrap it up in no time.
What kind of case?
A personal one.
How personal?
Very. The kind of case where if you come with me right now, you're not on duty anymore.
Ooh, damn, Sonny. Stop it right there. I'm in.
That's it?
Do you know how boring life is here without your stupid, reckless shit? Soon enough, I'll shoot all the ammo in here out of boredom. Right, so, tell me, what's it about?
I'll tell you in the car.
Ooh, can I bring Bertha?
Ah, for the love of... Marty, this is a routine case. You can't bring your shotgun, okay? Bertha stays.
Okay. But at least Susie can come, right?
All right, Susie can come.
That's what I want to hear.
A chicken getting excited over a gun. I never thought I'd see the day.
What about Laura? How come she didn't eat you yet?
Yeah, very funny. We're good, by the way. Mostly. As good as we can be after all these years.
Glad to hear it.
She asks a lot about you.
Really?
Yeah. She always hated you for getting me into trouble all the time.
Understandable.
But she also felt sorry for you.
Ah, well, thanks. That's much better.
If I'm honest with you, she loved the chicken police Marty better than this one.
Well, I think I'll take that as a compliment.
Whatever, Sonny. So, Sonny, you still limping?
The pellets tore my right hip to pieces, so yes. The doctor says I'll limp forever.
Ah, good to hear that.
Fuck off.
Can we go finally, or are you waiting for a big warm hug?
Let's get out of here before I get detained for gutting you.
Ah, lovely and peaceful as always. Welcome back, Boss Bird.
People, chicken. Got the chicken. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more people to go, apparently. Awesome. Okay. Ah.
Still drink coffee?
Yeah, my only poison. Except for guns, of course. And women.
We could visit our old haunt. What do you think?
Oh, a nice cup of Zips coffee and the hot dog. I'm in. Oh, and maybe we'll get into a little fight too, huh?
If it comes to that, I'm leaving you without a blink.
Oh yeah, like last time?
Those were different times, Marty. With a different Sonny.
Well, all right. To the city, then.
You don't have to come with me, you know.
Okay, I know. Let's go. Sonny, there's a little problem.
Not so little, and it smells, too. What the furry hell is Blood Boil doing here?
Well, it seems we can't avoid speaking to him.
Oh, yes, we can. You have your rifle with you, right?
What?
Just kidding. Sort of. Maybe next time.
I see you're swamped, buddy.
I've sent the old lizard away. I don't need him to foul the air anymore. I hate his kind anyway.
Well, because he's a reptile.
No, because he's a good-for-nothing piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And you? Are you letting off some steam?
Something like that. We'll go and check out some seedy joint. We're cops, after all, ain't we? And this is still Clawville.
That's true, pal. Protect and serve.
Yeesh, get a room, you two.
Ah, shut up, Marty.
What a surprise. The two pigeons back together. And without my permission, of course.
Chief Bloodboil.
Damn.
What was that, Santino?
Nothing, sir. What a lovely evening. Am I right?
I don't want to hear your crowing, Santino. What the hell are you doing here?
Hey, careful with the racist barking, old hound.
Oh, it's getting hot in here. Can we just skip this part? It's New Year's after all.
And you're on duty, if I'm not mistaken, Martin. Where do you think you're going?
That's it, boss. To serve and protect. Sonny was in the neighborhood and stopped by to say hi. He's a cop too, right?
Only on paper, and you know that very well, Detective.
I don't want any trouble, boss. I just wanted to say hi to Monica, and then this feather pillow showed up. I invited him to grab a quick coffee. You can allow him that much, can't you?
Your coffee breaks usually end up in shooting or brawling, chickens.
Oh, just a coffee, boss. I swear. Oh, have a heart. It's New Year's Eve, and I haven't seen my old partner for so long.
How touching. You shot him with a shotgun, if I remember.
Family quarrel.
For all the marrow bones of the world, get the hell out of my sight.
Have a lovely evening, boss.
You especially. Fuck off right now, Santino. What is it, Santino?
Nothing, sir.
And you need something, Martin?
No, sir.
Then get out of my sight, birds.
Look at these two simpletons.
They don't even realize their jackets are full of holes.
For the wild God's sake, don't dare tell them.
I already tried, but nothing happened.
Figures.
Hello, gents. Everything all right?
Aye, everything's just fine, Sonny.
Well, look, the chick police are together again. What a time to be alive. Am I right, Royce?
You're right, Fuss.
Hey, that reminds me. Look at what I found under my coat. It's Her Majesty Big Bertha in the flesh.
Whoa, 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 don't shoot. We were just joking, okay? We don't want any trouble.
Yeah, I was just joking, too. I'll never get bored with these two. They're so cute.
I wonder why they thought you would shoot at another cop.
Hey, it's just happened once, okay? Am I right, boys?
You're right, Marty. And we all know it was an accident.
See?
What is it, chickens?
Look, Marty, the pincushion can talk.
Amazing.
Fuck off.
Alright. I don't think talking to them is going to be any more help.
We can't avoid speaking with the chief first. And it would be nice to say goodbye to Monica, too.
Alright, so I gotta go back. Alright.
We're leaving, sweetheart.
Stay safe, boys. I'm glad to see you two together again.
I'm afraid you're alone with that.
Hey, don't make me change my mind.
You won't, Marty. I bet you can't wait to get mixed up in some serious trouble again.
Yep, that's true.
I'm serious, boys. Be careful out there.
We're big birds, Monica. We can take care of ourselves. Mostly.
Okay, but take care of each other, too.
Will do, Monica.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, maybe talk to her one more time?
Hey, Monica. Remember that invitation from the other day?
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry, Marty. I'd love to, but I've got a lot of work to do. You know how it is. Please tell your sweetheart that I'm sorry.
Okay, I understand. No problem.
We'll meet at the annual party anyway, right?
Yeah, that's true. I'll tell Laura.
One more time?
I have a strange feeling that we'll meet again tonight.
Strange. I have that feeling too.
That's weird. I was just thinking the same thing.
I have a strange...
Strange.
That's weird.
Alright, that's it. No more time to talk to them because there's nothing else that they're going to say to me.
What is it, Santino?
Nothing, sir.
And you...
No, sir.
Alright, not they're saying the same thing as last time. Alright, cool. That means I can fuck off. Hop dog.
The hop dog was like the last warning. You can still turn back. My eyes lingered on the sign. An enormous dog. Like a neon god with limitless power over cheap hot dogs, plastic hamburgers, and watered-down coffee. The cold light called me, but I didn't want to get out of the car. If we went in, we were all gonna be pancakes, kept together by cold syrup. Marty's worried look shook me out of my reverie. Oh, cluck. Was I talking to myself again? Hey, pal. Can you...
Whoops.
Is he deaf?
I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't understand what I'm saying. Well, that's also very likely.
Poor Bug Eyes.
At least he's playing music. I mean, he's doing something. Most of the destitute take up drinking or drugs. Or worse.
You know about the light.
You mean the light the insects believe in?
Yeah, their afterlife. If they want to go into the light, they set themselves on fire.
Yeah, I've heard that. Maybe it's not a bad way to go.
That depends on your point of view. Poor Bug.
At least he's playing. You mean the...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay, that's the exact same
depends.
thing as they said before. Alright, so I can't say that
This
anymore.
wreck belonged to Zip?
Well, it's a wreck just like him, so I guess it could.
It's sad that everything's rotting away. Yeah.
Once this broken-down old car was new and shiny. Am I a broken-down old car, too? Once this...
Alright, that's the exact same.
Peaceful, isn't it?
Because the whole town's probably drunk by now.
Maybe.
Doesn't it remind you of someone? Got you there, old bird.
I'm sorry?
Even though it's a mess, I still can't imagine living anyplace else.
You know what? I envy you for that.
Even though it's a...
You know what?
Alright, same thing again.
Even though it's a...
You know what?
Alright.
Are you sure that thing's a dog? I always wondered.
The name Hop Dog is quite a giveaway. Don't you think so, Mr. Detective?
Sometimes the most natural connections lead us astray.
Who said that?
A natural-born genius?
Yeah, right. That sign gives me the creeps.
I'm not surprised.
That sign...
I'm not surprised.
Alright. Oh, whoops.
Of all that's furry.
Is this still a thing?
The situation's getting even worse, Marty. Have you heard how the young mothers of the Cobbler District are forced to make a living?
I have no idea what goes on in the hive, Sonny. I don't think I want to know. But you're still gonna tell me, right?
Prostitution is the lesser evil. What's worse is that some folks have to sell their kids when they're still larvae.
Wait, what? Why?
They pay a hefty sum for each of them downtown. They sell them as gourmet food in the most expensive restaurants.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
We made this city, Marty. Clawville didn't do this to itself. Don't ever forget that.
Zip is a tricky little son of a bitch. He always has been. But seeing this, I didn't know him to be like this.
Me neither, Marty. But maybe this neighborhood changed him. Or the city.
Yeah, maybe.
This makes the bile rise in my waddle.
Yeah, me too.
This makes the bile...
Yeah,
Alright, that's the
me
same
too.
thing. Next one.
Ugh, the place is deserted. Poor Zip.
You're right.
Yeah, the guy's middle name is Bad Luck.
That's for sure.
Yeah, get your nose. Yeah, get your nose.
Hello, boys. Now, get the hell out of here while I'm asking nicely.
Hey, is that how you greet two old friends?
Hey, I'm not joking, Sonny. I got a shotgun under the bar.
No, you don't, because if you had, we'd arrest you here and now.
If there's still life in you when you're full of buckshot.
Ah, it's going well so far.
We're just here for a coffee, Zip, okay? Like old times.
Nothing's like old times. Haven't you noticed?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's quite noticeable.
Shit. All right. And where'd you blow in from?
We haven't been anywhere yet, but we're going somewhere.
Everybody's going somewhere, right?
Tell me, how much do you know, Zip?
That depends. How deep is it?
Bottom of the well kind. Goes down around Ibn Wessler.
Holy hell! Wessler? You've dipped your wings in deep shit, boys.
If you've got anything on him, don't keep it to yourself. We'd be grateful.
Grateful? Maybe you're not gonna trash my joint this time, eh? You know, Ibn's acting strange nowadays. He always believed that if you want something done, you do it yourself. That's how it was for years anyway.
And?
But now, he left his real estate, the fish racing clubs, the casinos, and the bars to his right-hand man, Mongrel Mick. And ever since, he's been kinda weird. Bottomed out, brooding in the seediest joints of the city. Nobody ever knew him to be like this. Weird, huh?
Yeah, weird. Do you think it's about a lady?
It's always about a lady.
Well, there is a woman.
I knew it.
But not like you think.
Is this gonna cost much?
Only a favor, like the good old days.
Okay, I'm in.
And voila, the master himself.
What a finch.
Sonny, he's a pigeon, not a finch.
Don't make me angry, Marty.
Okay, I was only joking. You still don't eat meat, old man?
I'm a rooster, a chicken. Why the hell would I eat meat?
I don't mean real meat, I'm not a lunatic. But a meat substitute? There's about 10 different kinds. Have you never tried any of them?
Why would I? If I don't eat meat, why would I eat a substitute?
Because you can. That's the point.
Wild gods, Marty. Stop being such a sheep. Do you fall for those adverts?
Substitute isn't meat, Sonny. And if it's tasty, why wouldn't I eat it?
I don't care what you eat. But don't be surprised when you lose all your feathers or you try to bite off your own leg one day.
Ooh, a nice pancake with hemp seed, chocolate, and black onions?
I'd rather have somebody pull my beak off.
Ah, you used to be more daring.
Yeah, and my back didn't hurt either.
Furry heavens, it's depressing being around you, Boss Bird.
What insight. Wise words, pal. Well, that's a good question, pal. The highlight of my day.
Yeah.
Look at that mangy trash panda and tell me, do you really want to know?
You're right.
As always. Have you ever been to that place?
Of course, 100 times. Everyone who matters in this city's been there. Sorry, guys. But then, it had a different name and a different owner.
Business affairs, right?
Yeah, that was the dark era, Sonny. I don't want to talk about it.
Roger that. Have you ever been to that place?
Of course,
Business affair.
Yeah, that was the dark era, Sonny. I don't want to talk about it.
I should have
Roger
been listening, I
that.
think.
I've
Oh, that's
gotta
why I asked the
say,
same question.
You revamped
Oops.
the joint pretty well.
Yeah, after you trashed it, I had to.
Look, I'm sorry, Zip. That Ocelot and his gorilla.
Baboon, not gorilla.
Whatever.
Sonny, what's your beak?
So you owe me one until about the end of time. But I'd settle for you washing up here for a few years after retirement, Sonny.
Mind your tongue, furball. So, Ibn's gone insane.
Love will kill you in the end, they say.
Seems like everyone's in a poetic mood today.
You're one to talk, by the way.
Huh? Why? So, about that woman. Is she really that dangerous?
What woman isn't, eh?
No, Zip. I mean, really dangerous.
She's got the most influential gangster of the city wrapped around her finger. She calls him her little furball. How dangerous do you think she is?
You didn't get any younger, pal.
You're telling me? You look like you haven't had a good night's sleep since forever.
To be honest, I've never had a good night's sleep in my life.
You will when the big sleep comes.
And what are your plans? Dying behind the bar?
Of course. You got a better idea?
A couple, yeah. But somehow this suits you.
You know what? Your mother's a goat.
Well, that was rude. Let's see if I can actually
That
say anything.
Natasha's a mysterious woman. A real cursed jewel, if you ask me. She came out of nowhere 2 or 3 years ago and landed on the stage of the Millions almost immediately.
Is that so? Interesting.
Yeah, she's got a fantastic voice. Makes men go crazy. But we all know that's not what's important. Then suddenly, bam! She got the whole club. Just like that. But we know exactly how it was.
I can imagine, yeah. Since then, it operates under the name the Czar Club, right?
The old click is still clicking, right? Yeah, the club was renamed and remodeled. Everyone knows she was Ibn's lover, but she's not your usual canary. She didn't get involved in Ibn's dirty dealings.
Then how exactly does she fit into the picture?
Check this. A few months ago, the old rat pulled out of his own businesses and gave control to Mongrel Mick and his mob.
Mongrel Mick? Doesn't sound familiar.
Mick the Marauder ring a bell?
Damn, that little monkey came this far?
I think that little shit took advantage of Ibn not being himself.
Which has something to do with this Natasha, right?
That's my guess.
Thanks for this straight dope, Zip. We owe you one.
One? You owe me the price of a new coffee shop, remember?
Okay. Whatever you need. Just call us.
I clucking will.
Thanks, pal.
Hey, I'm not your pal, Marty.
It seems like they've taken the word fucking and just changed it to clucking, which is fantastic. I love it because of the fact that they're chickens.
You sure talk a lot.
Maybe the past is haunting me. Once a rat, always a rat, right?
Oh, come on, Zippy. Don't be so hard on yourself. You got out in time, and you've been living an honest, ordinary life since then, haven't you?
Yeah, right. How lucky am I, eh?
It's more than what many others get, believe me. What's this no insects allowed shit? You're not like that.
What do you think? If I let one in, all of them will follow. And then I can forget my regular clientele for good.
What clientele? There's no one here.
That's it. Would you take even that away from me?
What's this no insects allowed shit?
What do you think?
What client?
That's it.
Midnight had passed, and the intoxicated madness kicked in. We could only crawl along Shalva District's main street toward downtown. The city's heart beat differently. Ancient buildings were defaced by neon signs and billboards, like half-drunk lovers on a fine leather sofa. Great old houses neighbored by garish modern blocks. A place that makes the head hurt. The Tsar's huge neon sign was visible for miles. A blazing red sign advertised tonight's main attraction, the amazing Natasha. Cops were never welcomed at places like this. I hoped we were too late for the show. We had to be inconspicuous, but it was never easy with this bird mountain by my side.
Ah, so this is the famous Tsar Club.
More like infamous, Marty. It's not for our kind, that's for sure. And I don't mean that they don't like foul here.
Well, at least we don't have to be afraid that they see you as a detective, Boss Bird.
Very funny, Marty.
So what are we gonna do now?
We find Natasha, the broad who sent me the message, remember? But first, we need to get into the club. And Marty, please, don't monkey this up.
Excuse me? On behalf of the well-respected and noble primate community of Clawville?
Cut the crap, Marty. Let's focus on what we're here for, okay?
As you say, Boss Bird. Hey, that's your old friend, right? Wait, what was his name? Lawrence? Lamar? No, Liam.
Lewis. Yes, it's him.
To be honest, Sonny, I always thought that guy's not all there in the head.
Nobody's perfectly sane in Clawville, Marty. But if not for this old rabbit, I wouldn't be here today. I'll never forget that.
Should I thank him for that?
Or kill him for it?
You're reading my mind, boss.
Sonny, my dear friend.
Hi, Lewis. This is my partner. But I'm sure you already know.
You have no idea how happy I am to meet you, Mr. Marty. I'm a big admirer of your work.
Pleasure's all mine, Lawrence.
Lawrence? Anyways, so, the legendary Chicken Police back together? Isn't it amazing news?
Don't ruffle my feathers, Lewis. Those days are long gone. We're just here for the entertainment. Or something like that.
I see. That's a shame.
See you inside?
I have something to do, my pal, but I'll try to make it for the main event.
Okay then. Catch you later, pal. Let's not bother him again.
Yes, sir. Is Lucas really such a big fan?
Lewis. And yes, he's got the whole Chicken Police book series. Damn his taste.
Honestly, I think these types of women only see faceless tuxedos, cufflinks, and wallets. And in the mirror, they're just brooches, necklaces, and earrings.
Don't be so radical, Marty. They're women. They live by different rules.
That was kind of deep.
It's not. Just bullshit. There's more where that came from.
Ooh, teach me, Master.
When you're old and wise like me, you'll realize none of it is worth a damn thing.
Wait, that was deep again, right?
Maybe it was, Marty. Maybe it was.
Amazing.
Let's not bother her.
Okay, boss. Whoa, look at that. Isn't that the new...
It is, Marty. A brand new 942 Silver Hawk. Haven't seen such beauty since I left Averia.
Of all that's furry, whose is it?
Maybe it's Ibn Wessler's. I guess he's no paper tiger.
Yeah, he sounds like a fellow who drives around in one of these. Lucky bastard.
What a beautiful car.
A work of art.
Seeing it and thinking about my little rusty Cobbett breaks my heart.
Ah, don't torture yourself, Sonny. Only way we're ever gonna drive one of them is if we sign up for the mob.
Maybe it would be worth it.
I think we'd be great gangsters. In another life.
Beautiful car indeed. Not much else to say.
Yep, as you say, boss. Do you remember when the Clawville Chronicle was a really high-quality newspaper?
You mean when they wrote something about us daily?
Yeah. What exactly happened to them?
Well, they got bored with us, Marty. And to be honest, so did I.
But still, here we are working together again. Funny, huh?
Yeah, hilarious.
Huh, I like this.
Why's that?
I don't know. 'Cause it's moving, I guess.
You're a simple bird, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Eppur si muove.
Oh, bless you.
It means, and yet it moves, bird brain. An old wolf named Galileo said that.
Oh, I see. And what did he mean by that?
Dunno. I think there was something wrong with his stomach.
Ouch.
Eppur si muove.
Oh, bless you.
It means, and yet it moves.
Oh, ouch. Jeez, look at that guy.
That's not a guy. That's a demon. Straight from the dog-eared pages of a cheap detective novel.
Yeah, I bet his name's Bill.
Nah, he's definitely a Bob.
$5 for Bill?
Okay, I'm in.
Jeez, look.
That's not a guy. Howdy, pal.
Gentlemen, how can I help you on this wonderful, chilly night?
We're expected in the VIP lounge.
My apologies, but I don't remember ever seeing you gentlemen here before. May I ask?
Stop right there, big guy. I get it. Yeah, I know exactly how this works. So what do you have to do to get in?
Nothing's easier, sir. Are you on the list?
The list? Yeah,
don't tell me you forgot.
I'm afraid I did, Marty. Sorry, big guy, but I'm pretty sure we're not on the list tonight.
That's a shame. I'm really sorry, sirs. In that case, you can't come in.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
My pleasure, gentlemen.
Just one more thing. This list of yours, where should we sign up again?
I'm afraid if you don't know, it's not my place to tell you, sir. Excusez-moi, the regulations, you know.
You hear that, Sonny?
I do, Marty. I do.
I'm gonna lose my crest from this guy. Just wait.
Just don't get too excited, Marty. Not tonight. Anyway, thanks, pal. Look, I really don't want any trouble, but...
It is even more inconvenient for me, sir, but this place doesn't like coppers. Forgive this slang. I can't let just anybody in, and there are some I'm strictly forbidden to. Please, you have to understand.
Listen here, you cow. Do you have any idea who we are? You ever read the papers?
Of course, I know who you are, sir. I read the news and more, and I must admit it's an honor to meet you in person, Mr. Santino Featherland and Mr. Marty Machikin. The Bell of the Pantheress is one of my favorite books.
Oh my God, not the books again.
So it would be terribly inconvenient for me if I had to use force on you, gentlemen.
What did you just say?
Relax, Marty. This guy has chicks like you for breakfast. Thanks for the information, pal. Have a nice night.
Thank you for understanding, gentlemen. And forgive me for my austere composition.
No problem, Shakespeare. Say, big guy, you know Mr. Lewis Hayworth?
But of course. Mr. Hayworth is an impeccable gentleman, and also a frequent visitor of the club.
Is that so? Good to know. And?
I'm afraid that is all, monsieur.
What can you tell me about the first lady of the place, big guy?
You mean Miss Natasha Katsenko, sir?
You're right on point, pal.
Nothing you don't know already, sir.
Just try me.
Well, she owns the place.
And, that's it? Well, that's, unbelievable.
Pardon, monsieur, but I'm not permitted to say anything more.
That fella's built like a brick shithouse. I don't think we'll be able to just sneak past him.
Wanna bet?
Not today, Marty. Remember, we must avoid suspicion.
Okay. No trouble. I get it. It's okay, Bertha. Maybe next time.
What was that?
Nothing. Just the wind.
Did you bring Big Bertha with you?
Gods, no. What are you thinking? What idiot would bring a shotgun to a club?
Was that a rhetorical question? Let's not bother.
Okay, boss.
Look, Lewis, that bouncer over there.
Well, yes. He is a bit intimidating, but his manners are impeccable. Am I right?
Yes, indeed, but it seems tonight we're not on his list.
Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. You'd like to go in, but he won't let you.
Yeah, something like that.
No problem at all. Come with me. I'll talk to him.
Much obliged, pal.
Yeah, thanks, Bunny.
Excuse me.
Ah, jeez, what the hell's wrong with you, Marty?
What? Did I say something wrong? Is Lucas really such a big fan?
Lewitt. Let's not.
Okay, boss.
Sir, how'd you do?
Everything's fine, Mr. Hayworth.
Good. Look, this noble pair of pigeons are my friends. They're on the list, okay?
L'archulamonge, sir.
And as for you, you owe me one, gentlemen.
Thanks, old pal.
It was my pleasure to help you, as always.
Yes, gentlemen.
Hey, big guy, what's your name again?
My name is Archibald, sir. Archibald Conway.
Well, that's not a Bob.
Excusez-moi, monsieur?
What? No way, that's not even a real name.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, sir, but my name is Archibald Conway, without any doubt. Blackjack Conway to my friends.
Well, thanks, Blackjack. It was a pleasure. We'll be on our way now.
The Tsar Club welcomes you, gentlemen. The Tsar Club welcomes...
Thanks, buddy. The jazz overwhelmed us. There was no band in sight, yet the music seeped from the walls like years of cigarette smoke and the smell of spilt whiskey. Behind the bar, rows of fancy bottles reflected the harmonious voices of pretty dames and the clinking of crystal glass. It was the kind of place that makes you drunk, even if you've never had a sip. A dangerous place for someone like me. No matter how alien I felt, it was strangely like coming home. Welcome to the Tsar. Well, here we are.
Mother of...
I take you to the nicest places, eh, sweetheart?
Oh, does it mean you're buying, honey?
Don't even think about it.
Ah, men these days. So, we're here to find a dame called Natasha.
I have a hunch she won't be hard to find. Let's mingle and try to avoid suspicion.
Just like always.
No, Marty, not like always. This time it's for real.
Bye.